A dolphin pushes a drowning sailor to safety on the shore. You won't believe what happens next. This breathtaking moment was captured by a tourist when a pod of dolphins approached their boat. They were on a sightseeing trip near the coast of Sydney, Australia, when all of a sudden one of the dolphins began acting strangely. The dolphin suddenly started pushing the man with its nose towards the shore, probably signaling that it wanted him to swim closer. Thinking this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to interact with such a beautiful creature, the tourist got into the water to follow the dolphin. But he quickly realized that the situation was far more serious than he had initially thought. He was in over his head and starting to panic. He desperately tried to keep his upper body above the water to get some air, but the more he struggled, the deeper he sank. When the men on the boat realized what was happening, they immediately jumped into action and pulled the struggling tourist out of the water. As they hauled him aboard, they noticed something shocking. He was completely unharmed. His life was saved by the quick reactions of the men on the boat, and most importantly, by the mysterious dolphin. At first, everyone assumed that the dolphin must have nudged the man towards the shore simply because it was curious or friendly. But after watching the footage over again, people started to wonder if there was more to the story. Some experts believe that the dolphin actually saved the man's life on purpose. If so, how did it know that he needed help? And why did it risk its own life to save a complete stranger? The incident took place in August 2013. At the time, Jared was working as a deckhand on a sightseeing boat that offered tours around Sydney Harbor. He had been working there for about 6 months and was familiar with the waters. He knew exactly where to take tourists to ensure they saw some amazing dolphins playing in the waves. But on this particular day, things were about to take an unexpected turn. Jared and his crew were taking a group of tourists on a 3-hour tour when they spotted a pod of about 15 bottlenose dolphins swimming alongside the boat. The dolphins seemed curious and wanted to interact with the humans. So the captain slowed down the vessel and let them swim closer. One of the male tourists couldn't resist the temptation any longer and decided to jump into the water. In the beginning, everything seemed fine. The man swam leisurely alongside the boat while the dolphins playfully circled him. The tourists on board were thrilled to witness this incredible display of nature. However, it soon became apparent that the man was struggling to stay afloat. Even though the water wasn't particularly choppy, the man was being tossed around like a rag doll. It almost looked as if the dolphins were deliberately trying to sink him. To make matters worse, he was quickly being swept away from the boat. His friends on board were getting increasingly worried. Jared knew he had to do something fast before the man disappeared beneath the surface. He immediately jumped into the water to try and save him. Meanwhile, the rest of the crew raced to the other side of the boat to try and pull the man out. When they finally managed to grab him, they pulled him up onto the boat, but not before noticing something strange. The man's life vest was completely intact. He hadn't taken it off or cut it off like some people do when they start to panic. In fact, the vest had never even been unhooked. This meant that the man hadn't known he was in danger. If not, he would have put the vest on. At that point, Jared knew that the man had most likely fallen into a panic and had inadvertently undone his own life vest without realizing it. Otherwise, it's hard to explain how he could have gotten into such a bad state without anyone noticing. Now that they had the man on board, Jared and his colleagues wasted no time in bringing him back to the harbor where they had started the tour. By that time, the dolphin pod had long since disappeared, leaving the crew and tourists to wonder what had really happened. As they got closer to shore, the man regained consciousness. To everyone's relief, he was okay except for a few scratches. The rest of the tourists couldn't believe what they had just witnessed. One of them, however, was particularly shaken by the ordeal. She claimed that she had seen one of the dolphins nudge the man towards the shore. She had thought it was just being friendly at first, but then she realized that the dolphin must have been trying to warn the man that he was in danger. When she told the others about this, they didn't believe her. They all thought it was just a tragic coincidence. No one could possibly imagine that a dolphin would purposely push someone towards the shore. However, when they watched the footage over again, they realized that the woman was right. One of the dolphins had indeed tried to push the man towards the land. But why would it do that? Was it just being friendly, or did it know that the man was in trouble? Scientists have different theories about why dolphins might push people towards the shore. One of the leading explanations is that they are simply curious. Dolphins are highly intelligent creatures with a natural sense of curiosity. They love exploring their surroundings and interacting with new objects and animals. It's entirely possible that the dolphin just wanted to get a closer look at the man and see what he was all about. However, there is another theory which suggests that the dolphin may have been trying to protect the man from a shark attack. Sharks often swim close to the shore where there is plenty of food, and on this particular day, there had been a shark sighting not far from where the incident took place. It's possible that the dolphin was trying to save the man from a potential shark attack by pushing him towards the safety of the shore. There is also the possibility that the dolphin simply wanted to play with the man. Dolphins are known for their playful nature. They love engaging in games and often drag objects around in the water just for fun. In this case, the dolphin may have just seen the man as a new toy and wanted to play with him. Whatever the reason, it's clear that the dolphin's actions saved the man's life. If it hadn't pushed him towards the shore, he would have drowned. It's a remarkable story that highlights the intelligence and kindness of these amazing creatures. After the incident, the man who had nearly drowned expressed his gratitude to the dolphin pod. He admitted that he had been a bit reckless by jumping into the water, but he was grateful that the dolphins had been there to save him. The owner of the tour company praised Jared for his quick reaction time and the rest of the crew for their bravery. He said that they had all acted quickly and effectively, which saved the man's life. The story quickly spread around the world, and many people were amazed by the dolphin's actions. Experts were baffled as to why the dolphin would purposefully try to sink the man. Some believed that it had recognized the fear in his eyes and tried to help him. Others felt that the dolphin must have known that the man was in danger and needed assistance. This incident led to an ongoing debate about whether dolphins are capable of saving human lives. While there are numerous cases of dolphins protecting their caretakers from harm, this particular case was different. It suggested that dolphins may be able to understand human emotions and react accordingly. Since the incident occurred, researchers have been trying to determine if dolphins can feel empathy. They have studied how dolphins react to the distress calls of other animals and humans. While the results are still inconclusive, some experts believe that dolphins may be able to pick up on human emotions through our facial expressions, tone of voice, and body language. This could explain why the dolphin in this particular case felt compelled to help the man. Whatever the reason, it's clear that the dolphin's actions saved the man's life. It's a remarkable story that shows the intelligence and compassion of these amazing creatures.